So, all right, we're streaming Miha versus Joe, Zapawa versus Gamein, and this is all preparation for the upcoming tournament. Streaming games every week.
This is actually the preparation for upcoming tournament.
Yeah, so
I didn't know that.
We can analyze the game, try to learn some new strategies, and everyone can learn by analyzing Tumbleweed. And
what are we gonna learn today?
I mean, first of all, I just want to say there's 18 people registered. That's amazing. So many people are, and then we have a few maybes as well, and a few no's, which is
That's
fine.
nice.
And a few undecideds. And then Polina.
So the number may grow right before the tournament.
Yeah, the number may grow. We never know. And also the ratings may fluctuate, as we've talked about. So that's kind of cool. And yeah, anybody who's watching the stream right now could still email me and sign up. But I think that everyone watching the stream right now has already signed up, probably. So that's fine. This can be preparation.
Awesome.
So Gamein leaves the game.
What? That's too early.
Yeah, okay, here we go. He's back. So, when people ask... right, so we're talking about the tournament, and we're also talking about how the tournament's going to be decided, the colors of the tournament. And, of course, it's not the colors being determined, but the roles of guest and host, who gets to place the pie, who gets to choose. And in theory, the guest has the win, and the host, it's up to the host to kind of...
the guest has what?
Well,
the win?
The win. Technically, the guest will always be like having the theoretically one position, because the guest has the chance to swap or keep whatever position, and get to choose the winning move from the very beginning of the game. But of course,
there might be no winning position.
But then if you are the guest, you get to choose whether to be white or red. So either white or red will be winning in every opening position. Because this game is there's no ties or draws. So somebody will win, somebody will lose.
It is definitely not determined in the beginning of the game.
But
in the pie, nothing is clear. Nothing is clear.
With human players, of course not. But with the theoretical perfect players, then there'll always be one position that's already theoretically winning for one player, given perfect play. And so in theory, guest gets to choose which one always gets to choose which color to be if the guest would know. Alright, so now Zapawa's switched to be red. Okay, so they're kind of deciding which colors. But anyway, in the tournament, what I'm going to do is basically make sure that everybody gets equal chances of being host and guest. So like I'm going to try to so that everyone alternates being guest and host every game, if possible. So that like by the end of the tournament,
I'm curious if you need a special formula for that, because people are going to meet different opponents.
I know. Yeah, guys. Let's start.
Right. Exciting.
Yes. Very serious. A very serious Joe. He's been preparing. No, but I had like a 2-hour long phone call with Joe, and we went through a whole game together. No, like a couple days ago, and we went through a whole game. And like an in-depth analysis of the line attack. It was super fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Gamein's probably prepared to play line attack. But of course Zapawa is the guest right now, so Zapawa gets to choose to be red. So we'll see. We'll see who plays the line attack.
Wait, okay. So Gamein will set up the pie.
Yeah, and I predict him to do something like this. Let's turn on lines of sight.
All right, so I don't see the analysis board, just I'm telling you, so I don't understand if you're saying I'm doing something like this. So
Okay, so
I don't see it.
yeah, but I'm thinking
But
like, of course, like L12, D13, D3, something standard, but we'll see. This is my prediction for gaming because Gamein we just went through this pie when we played. Although he actually what he was playing, if you undo, he was playing M13 D3. I think he was playing M13 D3 when we played our game last time.
yeah, something very classical.
Yeah.
But last game with Atari, he set up such a strange pie. I was laughing so hard,
What did
and
he
I
do?
didn't know what to choose at all.
Well,
I was. Hmm?
sorry, what was it though?
It was something like A2 B3.
A2. No, sorry, A2. B3. What?
Exactly, and like B3 was white and A2 was red.
Oh my god!
And I was like, okay, I'm about to choose white, but I think he's gonna capture me right away. But he didn't. He didn't capture me.
I think that like because this is what the computer does on size 6. Is
I think yes, he was saying that it is AI inspired pie.
Yeah, but I don't trust it at all. Like I know the computer's
You don't
good.
trust it?
A computer's good on size 6, but I think it still doesn't know how to put a pie.
Okay, maybe.
Let's see. We have a move. So we got D4 and M12.
And the Pava chooses to stay white.
Okay, so Zapawa accepted. So then we get Gamein. Zapawa basically allows Gamein to play the line attack. So let's see how this is going to work.
But the
Because
Pava doesn't know that he's going to play the line attack. I
feel
mean,
like
yes, he knows.
I feel like Zapawa knows that he's going to play the line attack.
But why? I mean, look, from this position, from H7, you can do whatever. You can do line attack, you can do mesh, you can do. You can't really do the giant triangle.
But I think H or G7, like what
You
you're
can do
saying.
all.
Yeah, you can do lots of things, but I feel like
Like,
even playing G7 automatically from the first move is just like setting up for a line attack.
okay.
It's like, to me, it's such a weird opening, but I love it so much. But we have Zapawa gonna attack this, and it doesn't. Zapawa's not trying to make a triangle, so there's no really need um, for red to block any triangle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, like in theory, you can make this triangle on H7, right? So say he did something like whatever random, and then white. Oh, because actually I don't.
H7. Yes.
Yeah, white can make a triangle on H7.
But this line will not prevent this triangle.
The line. Actually, this is cool. This is a triangle that the line would not prevent. And we have another like option for white to make like a big diamond shape here with H2.
Yes, exactly.
And that's
I like
about.
this.
And actually, no, we can keep going in C2 if we want to make a big mesh. I don't know if this is really what he wants to do.
Gaming is thinking so hard now.
Well, they have an hour and a minute, so and I'm really happy. Like I
Oh,
really
yeah, I see.
Begoomaber. I'll tell
Hello,
Begoomaber we're
Big
streaming.
Goomer. I don't know who you are. It's you for the first time.
Yeah. Hi, Begoomaber. We are streaming. Just, let people know. Okay. I think I will just increase the size of this window and also increase the size of everything. Okay. What do you think Red's going to do? Begoomaber's out. Joe's like, well, this doesn't really... This, like, playing an actual line doesn't really help. I think Polina's.
No, I think he needs to expand.
Yeah,
I would expand.
I would expand too. Where? Would you rather play on the side that white played or the side away which white played? So, for instance, playing g4 or d7.
Mm. Um,
Or a different
I,
move altogether.
I wouldn't play either of that
Okay.
because I would maybe want to do some like long range.
Oh,
I
okay.
think I feel more comfortable when I do long range moves because it gives me maybe even fake, but still the impression that I have a control over some portion of the board. When I have like very small mesh, um, I feel very vulnerable.
Hmm.
So I would go for something longer and that I will be able to place a two stack somewhere later on.
Hmm.
So maybe I will do some long range on G line.
On the G line, like g14.
Yeah, yeah, G14. I'm not sure. Um, I would go all the way to the H. But
Okay.
yeah, I will evaluate something like maybe G13 and yeah.
I would probably play g14 if I wanted to extend all the way because
Mm,
for me I feel that one stacks are safer on the edge. Okay, so we have Gamein expanding on a in a small mesh, two space mesh. So it made this two space triangle, and Miha has responded with his basically four space triangle.
yeah. So Miho was really prepared for this move. He played really fast.
I mean, Miha plays fast. This is what he does. He has like a lot of good intuition about moves, and
Mm-hmm.
so he can just. But I do think that um, this playing super fast can come back to haunt you because he's gonna miss. He might miss some things.
Yes, for sure. I was watching this super famous streamer of Go. Can you please remind me his name? I'm so bad with names. This like super funny guy.
Who?
The one you recommended me.
Dwyron?
Yes,
Dwyron, the Go streamer. Yeah, he's super funny.
yes, inspiring. Yes. So and they really like this like hands off. That so don't play too fast. Don't play so
Yeah,
emotionally.
yeah. Hands off.
That's that's really a good advice for any for any game.
I think so. Yeah, people. Ooh, yeah. People. I think people need to like take. I don't know, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, every move just to think, because
Just to evaluate what new emerged from the move.
yeah, and also just to take us. Oh man. All right, we have Joe played a long range move like you. I really, I honestly don't think I would have expanded from this D4 one stack. I would have expanded from the G one stack because it's the one that's more likely to be um, endangered because it's already seeing one line. So, but I would like to put that.
Doesn't see any lines. D10 doesn't see any white lines, and the reason for Gamein to expand on D line is that because he planned exactly to place a two stack on M10, so
That's true.
he wanted to make this kind of stable shape right in the middle of the board, which is also really big. He
Okay.
planned for that. That's great. And if he would expand on G line, it wouldn't be so massive. So that's for sure what he's doing. He's preparing some two stack
Yeah, but
cuts
but
on
but
white lines.
but
Hmm.
Polina, he could have played G10 as well and set up the same shape, and then the G7 red one stack would have had three lines of sight. So then it would have been always like much better protected. Whereas this D one stack doesn't need any extra protection. But I guess like the D10 is more more like kind of out of danger than if he would have put a one stack on G10. So maybe that's the reason. But okay, so he got to cut. We're seeing like
So Zapawa reacted and created a cut.
Zapawa not only cut, but he cut while attacking the cutting stone from last move. So
yeah, exactly. I didn't notice this. Right, exactly. The two stack is under attack now.
yeah, so
Right.
this is the reason why. I mean, so, and every single the real big problem here is that if Joe wants to save this two stack on M10, he needs to play a shield now, as far as I can tell. He needs to play a shield, and it's going to be a one stack shield in a contested area. So like Zapawa will be able to attack that multiple times, probably. Because he can also play on, for instance, if Zapawa shields or Joe shields, Zapawa can play on J7. For instance, if Joe shielded on M8, then Zapawa can play, like Miha can play J7, and then maybe but then again, like then Joe can play K8, and that puts K10 actually back under danger. So probably it's pretty easy to defend. Let's see if we have a better way. Yeah, actually, oh, it looks complicated because, but maybe he doesn't worry about this, and he just says,
No, this is the stack he just placed. He cannot really give it up so easy.
no, he will shield for sure. He'll play like M8 because if he gets M8 and then he gets to play K8 afterwards, then K10 is in danger.
But another attack from Miho can be on O12.
O12.
And then it's more difficult to shield because it's again one stack and it's annoying.
That's true.
Not really difficult, but annoying.
Right, because from this side, if Miha instead attacks from underneath, then all possible shields do not, in and of themselves, create an attack. So it's more convenient for Miha to play like this. Although then it's only a simple one stack. But probably better this way for him. Just, I mean, say he gets to do that. Like a M11 in response to O12. Miha still has the option of attacking D10, although I don't see that it would. I don't know if it would really work.
Yeah, he can create some one stack attacks.
Because then G10 is a pretty easy and convenient shield for Gamein.
Yeah, for sure. But it is sort of forcing move, right? You will force him to play some like inside this big shape that maybe he wouldn't play necessarily.
I mean, to me this would only reinforce the strength of it. Because right now we have this shape with a kind of a weak one stack on D10 because it only sees one friendly and one enemy. It only sees one friendly and one enemy stack. And then we have this triangular shape here on the upper side, and there are a lot of one stacks, and we have one stack that only sees two other. So it, in theory, could be attacked. Like I don't know, something like E7. It would just force. It would at least Okay. Okay, we have a move. We have a move. We did not see the move. We did not see the shield, I thought, but we see a shield at L10. Now what happens if we do this?
I think it's also a good shield because it will allow to put two stacks like right next to the attacking attack to a two stack being attacked on M10. So this is a bit better. But yeah, is it the pinwheel?
Not really, because right now we're getting. Oh my, they're playing so fast. Okay, so Mihal just attacked the shield, which is a slightly different thing than just attacking the same stack over and over. And then kind of ignoring that. So basically, Joe was using that shield as a way to build up tempo to play this move, this cutting move on J7, which now puts the one stack on M7 under attack. So now if white captures, then red captures. So white played a pretty. I like this defensive move, although I think it.
Wait, why what stack is under attack? Miho just played a shielding move
Exactly.
on M9.
Yeah, to defend against that attack. So
yes, and so red doesn't have any white stacks under attack currently.
yeah, not anymore.
But white still got a capture. And
What?
now for red it's much harder to. I don't know if that's possible at all.
Right, because yeah, actually after this one, so if red plays this cutting move on L9 doesn't seem to work because white just captures. So do we have any Sente moves? So first of all, this two stack on H7 looks pretty weak. Can we just attack this instead?
Yeah, possible.
Can we attack the M7?
But yeah, I'm just thinking, can we attack on something that cannot be so easily shielded, right? Because I7 is an easy shield for the attack on H7.
Right. I mean, if we play like if we play for instance like G6 and then white played I7, and then we again play something like, oh my god, why is this H7 so safe? We need more moves like H5, and then even then we have a defensive move, H6.
Yeah.
But eventually,
do you think neutral helps it with its stability?
Yeah, for
so
sure.
you sort of use neutral as a natural protection.
Right. It is like a natural protection. But it is this is one of the cool things about the neutral. We were talking about it would be really cool if in Tumbleweed you kind of could place the neutral along with the rest of the stones in the initial pie offer. I think that'd be super fun variation on Tumbleweed, because then you can make things.
I do wanna try it out to see how it changes.
I mean, I don't know how many extra like initial positions there are going to be with that. The only problem is that if you place the neutral in the corner or the side, then it can allow for even score games.
Can we say if the neutral is on the corner on the side, it only can be one stack? To make it a bit less elegant, but still draw less.
That's true. That's interesting.
It's good that they're taking their time.
Yeah. What do we think?
Thorough analysis.
I'm
I think. But do you think Gamein can just keep attacking one stack on M7?
M7. Let's see. M7. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We can attack the one stack on
So
M7.
J4. Just playing J4, and
Yeah.
then Miho needs to protect M7 if he wants.
Then K5 maybe.
Mm.
What if L9 then white captures? Oh, because this other capture coming on M10 is too good. Oh, I have an idea. Undo. What about if we attack instead on M12? We attack M12. So we say um,
Mm.
like
Mm-hmm.
N12, or let's just try N12, and then white. If white captures now, red captures.
He just heard you.
What?
Gaming just heard you and just attacked the M12
Ah, yes, but
right now.
yes. I think it looks. I think it looks like a reasonable. I think it's the best target,
Mm.
but still, white captures, red
Right, because
captures. White will then no, because white will still play L9 after that exchange series of captures, and the red two stack is gonna fall. Like one of them will fall. It's gonna be
I think gaming understands that this L10 and M10 are dead, and then he's actually saying, okay, those are dead, but I'm still underneath and I'm still surrounding you.
maybe.
So he's trying to minimize the damage sort of
Mm,
and still being able to do some stuff on the bottom.
maybe. Maybe that's what he's doing. Let's see if they follow my predictions. Yeah, so he takes. Then I bet that Miha will play L9, and if he does this, then I think
Mm-mm.
that
Maybe he decided it's too slow. He decided to block on L12 because he can always do L9. L9 is not question, but he doesn't want Gaiman to get the influence on the bottom. So he actually blocked him very effectively.
I think this is smart. Probably it's better than my suggestion of L9, because if he played this L9 and then Red decided to capture like by strongly attacking against E12, then it probably look really nice
Mm,
for Red, because Red would own the whole lower side at that point.
yeah. So I think it's very good of Miho of Zapawa to really eliminate any of those opportunities.
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think that Gamein's just gonna give up on this, but Zapawa. Zapawa has a very nice another cutting move on G12, and this cutting move also threatens G7.
Yes.
So
So good that Gaiman saw it. But this is his style of attacks. Gaiman also loves this long range attack. But I mean, maybe I shouldn't really say it. I only played him one game with him, and he was like really good at his long range attacks, and I was like, oh my god, I
yeah,
should really learn how to do it.
this is the chess skills coming through.
I think yes, I think you and Hootie were saying that. So
Oh man. So what is
ay
what
ay
is Red
ay.
gonna do with this two stack? He's definitely under attack. It's the only piece under attack, and he needs. I mean, he can place a shield anywhere, but it's gonna be a one stack basically.
No, there is a shield on
Oh,
J10, which is a two stack.
oh, that's true. If he does this though, and then can we just think about this?
But it is just a shield. It is nothing else. It doesn't really extend. Like I mean, for it strengthens the network, but it's not really a big extension or a threat.
He chooses to not
Aha.
bother defending but I don't get it because it seems
Maybe he
too
didn't
good.
see.
Seems too good to let white capture like that.
Yeah, maybe he didn't see. I would capture right away. I would not leave this capture for later, yes.
Good.
Because now,
Now the other one's under attack.
yeah, shielding of the one is also.
No shield is necessary. You put a third line of sight on this one.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know where. Maybe like B7? Or I don't know.
But if you put, oh, okay,
maybe D7? Just it looks aesthetically nice to me because it's evenly spaced everywhere.
yes, but it's gonna be a 3-stack, which does not.
Wait, did I start recording? I haven't recording. Okay, good. Just making sure.
You think they decided where their potential territories should be?
That's a good idea. Let's look at this. I mean, I can't imagine so because there's nothing that's enough. There's nothing clear enough on the board right now. I think red might think that red wants to try to make something in the upper side, and white would like to attack on both red's weak groups on the left and the right, and from doing this probably will gain territory through the whole center and bottom side. This is my prediction. But if red invests in the lower side, then red can, make something there too. Because red does have a lot of pieces around. But yeah, okay. This is a kind of a forcing move from Joe, saying like, you can let me have this free move if you reinforce, otherwise I get to take your piece.
So he's trying to gain some center.
Exactly.
But it's up to Miho. I think Miho has a bigger capture right now.
Right.
So maybe he can afford losing that too.
If Miho captures G7
the two
and then
would
Joe
not really lead
captures
to any other captures. But the one on G7 is rather big.
Yeah, because then Miho couldn't capture the neutral if he wants.
Mm-hmm. Can he though?
Yes, after
okay.
capturing.
Yes, I see it.
I don't know if this is the way though. It does look pretty nice though. But I think Joe was thinking that basically all defensive moves that put third line of sight on G7 were just too passive. But what this is really saying is that Joe is really not investing in the upper side.
Wait, not investing what?
In the upper side of the board.
Not investing.
Yeah,
but maybe I think quite the opposite, that he thinks that it is still pretty strong.
Joe. It's like one stack.
Why would he give up the top part?
Why would he allow Miha to capture G7? This is like a key blocking stone, I think. Because it's like the stone that is in the way between his own stones and white's stones. So if Miha captures that, then he's seeing a bunch of, and he can start attacking more strongly. Because we already know that J7 is dead. It will be dead. Now, oh my god, now I'm a bit behind.
You mean will be dead no matter? I actually don't really understand why did they shifted their attention to this very local tiny fight.
Right.
that they're doing.
Oh,
But
oh,
okay,
wow.
and Miho is leading in it anyway. That's I didn't really understand what was Game's thinking.
Okay,
And
so
now
hang on.
he's shielding with one stack. What? Why? Why?
Because he can capture the neutral? I don't know. Let's say if he captures the neutral, he puts a ton of white stacks under. Oh, he did it. Yeah, he puts a ton of white stacks. He puts H7 and L12 under attack. And this may save a lot of. This saves. I mean, this saves at least something. It's a very strong attack, I think. Because I think one of them has to fall now.
Well, but if that was his strategy to start, like his strategic move to start with, that's a really long range thinking.
What do you mean?
Like really, I mean, if he decided that he will play this combination to get the neutral, I think this is a lot of like predicting power.
But starting when? When do you think he started to predict this? Based on which move? Or starting in which move?
When did he play H13?
H13.
So he played H13. This placed the lion on neutral and also forced Miho to do something about
Okay. Yeah, H13,
the
right.
secondary attack.
Mm-hmm.
And then he played this controversial shielding
move, which also captures the neutral.
Shielded and captured the neutral.
Mm-hmm.
And then that neutral created double attack.
Yeah.
So I think this is like a lot of calculation and thinking.
Yeah.
Through the game tree, like what will be the response, and that Miho would not really get that the initial plan was the neutral. But it's only, I'm saying, only if he thought of it from the beginning and not really just saw the emerging situation and was like, oh, neutral, oh, okay, oh, it's actually double attack, oh, okay.
That's how it would be for me.
It also will be like that for me. I would not be able to hold so many moves in my mind to analyze. I will be like, oh, that's too complicated. I cannot really understand what will be the logical response from my opponent. So I will just go for something and we'll see.
Yeah, but you know what, Polina? If I were, the thing is, in this game and in many other games, it's like you see a position that you want to take, and you're like, and part of the problem solving is like figuring out how to get there. And so if you can figure that part out, then you can say, okay, if I got 3 lines of sight on the neutral, then I would have a double attack. It's like, then he's like, oh, wait a minute, this move Sente, this allows me to put 1 more line of sight. So I could imagine his like thought process in a way where it doesn't actually like he doesn't need to calculate all of Zapawa's responses. It just is like, this is Sente, okay, and then this is Sente, okay, then I can capture. But the thing is that confuses me is that there was like this huge sequence on the left side in between all of that, right? So I don't know. Yes. I don't know if that doesn't really consistent with our theory.
That was too local. And then
but anybody could, either of them could have blocked it or like
capturing
at any time they could have stopped. Things. Oh my god. So many whites.
Oh my god, the board changed so much.
They are in the heat of battle. What can I say? But it seems
like they were really playing like bomb, really fast.
What does this move do?
Which one?
This G or F5. I don't see anything. But there's so many captures available for white. I would just be capturing pieces. I would just capture G8, M10, but probably not capture 8, M10.
Wow, yes, exactly. 4 captures.
But G8 would be nice to capture.
You know what? maybe this is the thing that he thinks he doesn't really need to capture right now, but yeah, when I was playing DS Headed, he was doing something like this, which drove me crazy. Because he would set up all those captures, but would not capture any of that. And then when I was talking to him like about his strategy, he was saying that he didn't want to lose the tempo on capturing. And the funny thing that I was thinking during the game that, oh, eventually he will lose the opportunity to capture all this because the other stacks it would emerge, but he ended up capturing almost all. So I mean, I'm not saying that I played that game really well, but it's just that sometimes it is an option not to capture and just try to expand and like reinforce. I don't think that F5 is doing anything in particular, but really occupying a lot of more new lines of sight for white gives a lot of new opportunities to place two stacks in something that was presumable red territory before.
It
So
converts.
it is a great move
It's
just
a
because
great.
it gives so many new options.
It's a great move because it really goes right in the middle of red. And if you look at the influence before and after F5, it
Mm-hmm.
basically converts many things that are contested to white, and it converts many things that are red to contested. So it's like and the fact that it's right
Exactly.
in the middle and it only sees one red piece
Only
means
one
that
red, exactly.
it means that
And you can,
it
and
means
for
that
red,
that
blocking the potential moves so resulting from this stone, resulting from this stack. I mean, would not block all the opportunities. You cannot block all the opportunities immediately. So and all those blocking things for red will be very local. So mm, I think it's nice. I think it's nice. But you need to be really comfortable leaving all those captures. But let's say which of those captures can be immediately protected? They're all pretty dead, right?
what I think about that is
M10 is pretty dead.
well, M10.
And,
Wait,
and
wait. Let me
and
respond. M10. You can play one move, and then another move to reinforce.
so
So
it needs two moves to be reinforced,
if red
right?
gets one move in Sente, then the next one he can. But it costs too much to protect at the moment. But
Yeah.
as the position develops, this may not be the case anymore because he may get these. He may get a move on O10 that does like a double attack. Like one, it threatens to reinforce M10, and two, it may be like doing something along this F1 O10
Yeah.
axis.
Yeah, exactly. So the same situation is for F12, right? That it needs two moves to be saved.
F12 looks like super dead. Basically, what will happen is well, one thing that could happen technically, yeah, two moves to be saved in theory, but the thing is, this F13 will never be a double attack, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it's just not gonna be a double attack probably. But what could happen is red could place a move that threatens to capture F11, and then white would be forced to
Mm,
respond by capturing F12, and then red gets another free move and elsewhere. So this is why these captures, like they can be useful for the person who has the
mm-hmm.
dead stuns. Oh shit.
Right, will be useful for a person who is attacked or who is attacking.
Useful for the one who is getting captured.
Right. So, but maybe, also like not going and really capturing the stacks right away um, can be useful because you don't lose the time on the immediate capture and you can capture right when it's needed. You just need to watch for those things.
Yeah, but usually it's too late. But like for instance, if white would have captured on hang on. So for instance, if white would have captured on D10, red would not have a 3 stack there.
On D10, red would not have a 3 stack
On
there.
D5. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it would be
But still, it
actually
will be contested.
it would be contested, meaning that white could immediately attack the two
Mm.
if red choose to
Yeah.
play there.
Yeah. I disapprove the h5, even though, let's see, h5 is okay. H5 is an attack, right?
Yeah, h5 looks great because it's an attack.
I really just wanted for, so as I was seeing f5 as a move that allows expansion, and by playing this attack, I mean it's nice. It's
But
tempting to play that attack because that two stack is right in the middle of the, like it is very close to center. It will give white a lot of influence if it is not protected. But I'm really afraid that the opportunities to play something like c2 will close very soon, and then I mean c2 would be nice.
yeah, for instance, red can play like e4, and then if white captured.
Yes,
But you know what?
yes.
Polina, like in theory, f5 has two lines of sight into the top. So f5 can link up with an invasion spot on f2 or c2, and also k9 can link up on d2. So there's this gate is kind of big, and so
That's K9. Yes, K9.
no
Mhm.
matter where red defends, white has a sufficient invasive
Okay.
move after the fact. But
Yeah.
I do think
Yeah.
that like we have said, like it's not nice to just wait until you only have one way in to go in.
Mm-hmm. So when you started with like three opportunities and one was already blocked, yeah. So I would go for an invasion, but I don't really know what was in Zapawa's mind. So maybe he actually played f5 to be able to place um, h5. Maybe he was thinking that that would be a valuable thing to do.
Right, but
So maybe that is his plan.
right, that could have been his plan. But think about this move h5 that he played. Both players could play a three stack there, and imagine if
Mm-hmm.
red would play it instead. I mean, now
Yeah.
f5 looks very lonely, and in fact, I mean, we knew that f5 was lonely from the beginning. I mean, it's surrounded by red, so it may even be kind of a sacrifice intended to die, but intended to be a disruptive stack that will like
Mm.
gonna
Mm.
breed all this
I like it.
chaos
This
inside the.
disruptive stack that you deal with it.
Yeah, deal with me. Well, but I love this move. I think it's awesome. Actually, why? I would actually much prefer c2, but I do think that like the problem is this cutting move on e4 doesn't directly attack anything.
I also like it. I think it's awesome. It is just otherwise, if he plays c2, then e4 will be a red, like will be contested, and red would want to play there. But now
But if you no
that's
no
that's not an option.
no, if he played c2, then e4 would be controlled by white.
Ah, okay, yes, because of e8.
Yeah,
All right.
but it doesn't matter now because so the previous cutting move didn't attack anything, but this cutting move on f7 was a double attack on both two stacks that it sees, which is crazy. So Miha's basically continuing with his plan, and now he's playing a cutting move that attacks two stacks. This h4, he has a
Oh my
he
god,
has
I
a
see it now. Crazy. How can they handle so many so many captures? It blows my mind.
I have the feeling that white is taking control over the upper side of the upper right with this move. I mean, pretty strongly.
Yeah,
Red has pretty uncontested control over the lower side, and
yeah.
the left side is actually quite, I would say, still contested. Just in my mind, this is
Mm-hmm.
how I see it.
This is really stressful for me to like really pass this choice. Like you choose what's more important for you. No, now you choose what's more important for you. No, now you choose.
Right.
And it's like, oh my god, just choose something.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, so we finally have some captures. Let's see. So the F5 is our friend on F5 is finally passed away.
Oh, we will remember it.
But I think it was
Maybe.
worth it. It was worth it because it set up this crazy series of like we had mixed feelings. I mean, I had mixed feelings on this move, but now I see how it's turned out for Miha, and like it seems like he can just kind of now eat away at everything Red has up there. But is it going to be enough? This is the question. Because if you really look at the way I'm looking at it now, it's like White has this area. Oh my god. Wait. G4 captures. Yeah, White has this area up in the upper right, but and yeah, this left side. I think if White captures, does White really need to capture right now? I mean, I would probably capture but maybe I don't need to capture. Maybe that's not necessary.
Capture what exactly?
D10. But instead, White played this cutting move on F10. But this move can be immediately attacked. But is it good to attack? For instance, so if Red plays something like D8, so will White defend this?
Mm.
And then D7, D7, and then that kills off E8.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or if he wants to attack it, I think this is another way to attack, but it looks less good. Is playing on G11.
All of this can be shielded, but for White it will mean over concentration, I think.
Yeah, but
so still F8 is a two stack. I mean, not so strong, but maybe good enough. I don't know.
I mean, if he just played it,
Because
there's three
F8
lines of
cannot
sight
really be
on.
attacked so easily because many attacking points have also three stack shields.
Yeah,
So it will
but
be pretty safe. But for white it will be, maybe White doesn't want to play so locally, and Red will, in the meantime, Red will be able to really protect the left upper segment of the board, like really big portion of the board.
if Red plays on D8, that's attacking.
Yeah, I think so.
It's attacking with three lines of sight on the piece that White just played.
Yes, and then White protected by F8.
F8. Hang on. F8. Yeah, F8. No, F8, really?
Yeah, why not?
Because
F8 is a two stack for both.
Yeah. Because the reason why is that then I don't know. No, I think F8 looks good. Hang on, wait, no. What about then?
Wait, what?
No, you're right. No,
Did I miss something? Why is it a four stack on? Oh, okay.
D6 then, or can I play D7? Yeah, F8 looks somehow annoyingly good because the thing is, all those pieces, all these are controlled by White. These adjacent spots are controlled by White. So, like for instance,
exactly.
D6. Okay, D6 is threatening. It needs to shield. There's a 3 stack here. Oh, and then we play D7. But then maybe white goes apple picking. Red tries to play a 4-stack on e6, but it's too late. No. Then white gets on the left side. So undo all this. This is one of those shields where it's that if you play it, you have to be sure that you can capture something, because right now it's on a 3-stack on a sharp corner.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I see.
Are you watching this my analysis board?
I think I did. I was able, yes, to connect, and we do have some discussion in the chat.
What's going on?
Highest speed chops. Hope I pronounce it correctly. Is asking if this is based on the rules of Go, and Nick is saying that no, it's different. And Nick explains the rules. So, do you want to briefly go through the basic mechanics?
Actually, I want to can you post a link to the how to play Tumbleweed video in the chat so that he can watch or she can watch, because it's only 3 minutes long. But basically, this is a game based on lines of sight. If we just briefly move this to this kind of, oh my god, take off the influence, and we can see that like every piece is played, basically we're playing on a hexagonal grid, and if we look at it like this, we can see that there's these lines going across the whole board, and so every piece can see as far as it see all the empty points and the first kind of piece that it in that direction that it encounters along any of the 6 cardinal directions in a straight line. And when you have multiple pieces being able to see on a single location, then you can place as many pieces of yours that you can see. So, like, for instance, red saw 2. I'll just switch back to the hex because it's easier for me to see. Red sees like 2 in this direction, so it places a 2-stack. And if you can make so for instance, if white wants to play here, white sees 4 on this location of white's own pieces, so white plays a 4-stack. And if you can make a bigger stack than the stack that's already there, you can increase the size. And so then basically whoever has more space at the end of the game wins. And so it's like it's a territorial game in nature, but the concept of territory is totally emergent, and the concept of capture and groups is totally emergent, not defined as it is in Go. So it's a totally different game, but somehow certain similar qualities have emerged just by chance, I guess. So he played exactly the move that I was thinking. He wants to attack this f10. And I think you're right, Polina, that f8 just looks awesome. Awesome defense, because it's not easy. I mean, what is red? Anytime red will make a attacking move, white has a convenient defense. A very convenient defense.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I
think both of them have analyzed this position, because Miho played it so fast. He already knew this is a great defense.
I mean, Miho just plays fast too.
But it means that he has the plan, right? That's the thing.
But he maybe just has the ultimate intuition. I feel like he just knows this game so well in his heart that he just instantly comes on the correct move.
How do I find the video fast? I cannot find it fast.
Just search on YouTube how to play the game of Tumbleweed.
All right. Then anyone can do it.
That's true.
I mean, it should be as simple as it. If you want to see how to play Tumbleweed, you should just just search on YouTube and bam, you have it.
I would do it, but I don't want to break the viewing.
No, I'm doing it.
So.
And then it says how to play tumbling Tumbleweed.
How does red? First of all, what's the score? We have 79 to 57. Red is ahead.
That is way too much ahead.
I mean, red is like 20 points ahead. It's not super dramatic. Okay, what happened? So, red has played this move, which it's an attack. It is an attack, but it barely attacks. Because white can so easily and conveniently defend.
Yeah. Thank you, Nick, for posting the link to the video. That's great.
Thanks, Nick. So, I guess white has to play this shielding move on e9.
Yeah, I would not give up. I would not give up this f10. I think it is important.
It is important. Everything else, I feel like. Well, actually, let's say white does give up and plays something else, like an invasion on k14, and then red captures. Now a bunch of white pieces are also under attack, and it's just not going to be easy for. Okay, so white defended. Now, what if instead of this?
I do wish now that d10 is already white.
Exactly, but you know what? Instead of playing the 4 stack, white could have captured d10. And then if red captures,
no.
Yes, if red captures, then white plays d10 or f9, and then now white's capture will just die, or red's capture will just die. So sometimes you can capture something, and then it's not a suicidal move, but a couple turns later, it's just gonna die anyway. But in this case, it's not so nice because, well, then we have like a move like h11, and then white has to defend like g9, which is not such a big deal. But then we have I10, just looks super nasty. Red breaking white up into little pieces. So maybe let's take this flight of fancy and go back to the real world. So
the Gamein now looking for a big move, right? Because for him is it center for him or?
So Gamein has center. I mean, clearly, but I also think that Gamein doesn't want to just let the left side be weak like this, because basically Mihawk can poke through. Well, first of all, Mihawk can capture. So say Gamein does something unnecessary, and then if white captures on d10, now d8 is going to be falling really fast.
Right, but still, this is not. I don't think that these two stacks are such a big deal for Gamein. I think overall the other influence on the board that is not under such pressure. Or how many captures? Mika has three captures. Okay, I don't know. I feel red is overwhelming.
What can red do?
Red can attack something of white on the left side, no?
Like what?
Like J5.
J5. Red can play J5.
J5 is
J5 looks pretty nasty.
Right.
J5 says
J5. I was hoping J5 would protect, but it will not protect anything. But it does put a 3 stack of H5 under attack.
Yeah.
But it is still small. Maybe it's still small.
I like J5 because it what it does is it takes this almost controlled line on the right side and makes it contested, the whole thing, from J5 all the way to O10.
Yes, and then also it allows F1 to be a 2 stack. Many options.
What about O10? Just playing O10 directly, and then J5. And so then M10 will now spring back to life. So then if white captures on M10, then F1, two stack on F1 is a really sweet invasion.
Yes. Do you think it's worth protecting J4? But it's not possible, right?
Okay, so say we want to protect
It is
J4. We just
on
play I3.
I3.
And then white plays J5, and then we play I4 or something. And then white captures on J7. And then we play H3. No, this is bad. But this is how I would, if I really wanted J4, I'd probably start by playing maybe I4. Although I think, yeah, I4. To undo, if we do this one, if we play J or I3, then J5 is still contested, so white can play there. If you play I4, then it's not contested anymore. It's controlled by red. White cannot play there. White cannot really do a good attack on this J8 or J7 anymore. But maybe K1 is an option. But nope, this doesn't really look easy for white to do any attacks. So I would say I4. If this is the goal, I mean, I don't see why not. It looks like a fine goal. Plus, assuming like if you play I4, then F1 is still a two stack.
Yeah. Maybe it's worth protecting.
People get
scared away when we play Twitch link. I don't know what's wrong about it.
People get scared away when you address them. They're like, oh, you're talking to me? Okay. She's talking to me.
Leaving.
She's talking to me. Okay, I'm out. I can't handle this right now.
It's like you clearly realize you went into the wrong bar.
Yeah, exactly. If I like went into a bar, I know nobody. I know nobody. Then somebody looks up and say, "Hello, Alek. You're streaming on Twitch." I'm like, oh shit.
Oh shit! I'm leaving. Okay, I got it.
No,
I'm out.
I'd be like, what? How do you know me? Oh my god, that's crazy. Who are you? That's what.
How about for red to play H10?
Undo H10.
No, H10 is a suicide. I'm sorry, that's stupid.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to do that.
No. Okay. Okay, then other things are maybe not so.
What about how do we turn this around for white?
How about J10?
J10. Wow. Yeah. So how about we prevent J10 for white? Can we prevent J10? So let's say red passes. Just okay. And then white plays J9. Because white needs to kill off red.
Yes.
In several locations. And these captures, it's like Polina, the captures didn't happen before, and now there's too many captures to make, and it's like Miha wishes that he could just capture all the captures in this one turn. But he can't. Every time he captures a stone, Gamein puts a new one up.
Wow. I think it's a good thing that the game has some rules that we follow. But the thing is that some of these stones they cannot be protected, and I didn't really play Gamein so much, so I don't really know his way of thinking. So my idea is that maybe it's good to protect something, but maybe he's looking for a good attack or invasion.
Yeah. He may be just wondering. The thing is, it's if you don't look at the influence, if you don't look at the influence at all, it seems like very hard to understand what is the territory, actually.
Yes, exactly.
But if you look at the board of influence, it's like, okay, this is
Can you
all
turn it
red
on?
basically right now. What? But
Are you showing the influence board?
yeah, but let's just say red passes, and then white plays a move like, oh, I want to try to get white to invade on the lower side and see if white can do something, because red has this small wall of pieces on the lower right. Maybe it's vulnerable at all.
Yeah. I feel like the infrastructure of the red on the bottom is so big that for white to invade on the bottom is just extremely hard. I think it is extremely hard.
I mean, maybe, but at the same time, there is two spaces that are dominated by white in the bottom. So white can play two stack that doesn't even see any red, I guess.
Yeah, like K14, you mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, K14, and then also K13 sees a one red, but it's still looking nice. And then there's multiple follow-ups after this. I think white needs to do some invasion and make things more complicated.
I still feel that C2 is a more dangerous invasion that maybe will get white
Oh yeah,
more opportunity.
oh yeah. C2 looks amazing because C2 opens up this whole C line of sight, and red will need to defend that. But once red does defend, um, it looks pretty solid.
I don't think that Miho has to choose between these two things. Maybe he can do something in both directions, but I would prefer to do it one by one
Like,
because doing it all at the same time just a bit too much.
no, I'm just saying like that now capturing these stones looks too small, but it's necessary because it's needed to weaken the rest of the red network. But it takes so many moves, and you'll get there too late. So, for instance, white wishes that white captured D10 a long time ago, because then this D8 wouldn't be here. I think I don't know if this is true actually, but I think it probably wouldn't be here.
Yes. I think
D5 wouldn't be a three stack,
D10,
right?
D10 allowed D5 first, and then D8 happened.
Right. D5 and D8 were both enabled by D10, which could have been captured at any time.
Way before. Yes. I do think that J4 is a good capture for white now, because then it forces red to do something about J7.
Yeah, and it really makes it
And
actually.
there is only one protection, K8, and it's not so big. No, K8 is even a suicide. J7 would not be able to be protected
Oh yes, yeah, that's true. So basically,
at all.
red actually would like to defend J4. Like that is red's biggest move probably, because if red can live with J4, there's there's the upper right side is not white anymore.
Yes. So maybe why Gamein is taking so long? What's the issue?
Because Gamein
What is he evaluating? I'm curious.
Gamein's wondering to do with all that sweet sente.
That's a big question. That's a big question.
He's like, what do I do? He's like, I just got.
You work hard to get Sente, and then you have it, and then you're like, now what do I do? What do I really do?
Yes.
That's my problem. I am like, it's very rare that I have Sente, and when I have it, I don't really. I'm so confused. And like when you yesterday were like messaging me, oh my god, you have Sente. I'm like, yeah, stop distracting me.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
come on, Gamein, give us the move.
I definitely think there's a meme here. I think there definitely must be a meme about Sente. It's like me, yeah, me. I don't know. me trying to get Sente, and then me when I have Sente, and then like,
Yes,
and then I
yes.
I feel like a
When I
picture of
actually
me just
have
like on the
Sente.
couch, like watching Netflix. When I have Sente, just like whatever. I'll play some fucking reinforcement
I will
move.
think about it later. It's too complicated.
I hope
I hope
Gamein's.
he's still in.
I hope Gamein's all right. Yeah.
So I'm a bit sad about E4 that it is like it is a wide stack that really connects everything nicely on top, but it is that essentially, right? So it already sees two of, and like the third line of sight can be placed easily, and no real protection. So it's probably gone.
Actually, so say red passes. Oops. Hang on. Right. So say white plays. So say red passes and white plays D1 or sorry D3. Then it puts D4 under attack, and maybe red could actually no because the red can respond by playing C3, and then puts a D3 under attack, and then white can try to capture this one stack, but it would be a suicide move. So this is the kind of moves that me and Miha were playing last night.
Okay, J10.
J10 has been played by red.
Ay. Poor Miho.
All right. This is the move that really is the
It's
most
not.
nastiest
It's
move.
actually then just J9,
J9.
right? And J7 is under attack.
Yeah. Yeah. Still nasty. Even if white. Okay.
Annoying because really limits the opportunities of white to go on the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah. Move like. Okay. So actually, he did it.
Great that he saw it. I am actually proud of myself that I saw it.
Yeah. You and Miha are on the same page right now with some of these defenses. And very fast too.
Yeah.
And I predicted Gamein's next move too, because I already had this K11 on the board. It takes away all the 2 stacks from the bottom invasion, and now Miha gets to capture, and Miha will solidify the upper right for Miha.
But Miho needs to reinforce now.
Does he? No,
yes.
It doesn't matter.
You think?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It does matter. It loses two stacks.
No, 1 stack. 1 stack.
No, 2.
No. Because then he'll capture. Then he'll capture on M10.
Oh, right. Okay.
So then actually it's nice because he gets to capture. Like, he gets to capture for a reason, not just to capture.
Yeah, that's also good. But at the same time, the influence that he gained with the J7 capture is much bigger.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I wish that he would have been able to play a 1 move on the bottom side first.
I think it would be too vulnerable. That's what I was saying, that the influence of red on the bottom already was too much. It was. I would not dare to invade there. You really need to be super skillful and like have a clear invasion plan. Up to, I don't know, 4 or 5 moves.
No, I think that it's still worth it because you get these like potential attacks, and like even just being able to play a couple 2 stacks. Like for instance, if you played a 2 stack on K14 and then on L14, I don't know, and then you get a 2 stack on G14.
Mm.
I don't know. I think it's totally worth it. I mean, you just get, even though it's the possibility of stirring up, or the possibility of strengthening red in the long run and dying, 100% dying, it's probably better than not trying at all. Because right now Miha's behind, so he needs to create confusion.
Mm.
Even just playing a one stack, I would still do it.
He's behind by influence, but he's not so much behind by own stacks. Ah, poor red one. Poor J10. J9.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, J9.
Mm. J9, it's okay. J9 does not need to live. It's not critical for Miha. It's just one. It's another just one of these just one stacks. I would capture
So if Miho gets now
6.
I6, right, and with next one, maybe even he doesn't really need to care about J4 until the end of the game.
Right. Now
So, but I6 is great. I think I6 is great.
I6 opens up a line of sight all along the entire
Please
6
place
file.
A6 now, please.
Yeah, exactly.
A6.
A6. A6 would be very nice, and it would actually even up the game quite a bit.
Yeah. Do it.
Actually, Joe's capture was very slow and I think almost bad to play.
I think J9 does not need to be captured now.
Yeah,
it was bad already.
Yeah, this was a delay. This is a
Yeah.
move that should have been delayed.
That's the end game.
That's end game. Yeah, yeah, and now A6 would basically bring White back in the game, which is awesome.
And you know what? Maybe A6 is also not so bad, so good. Maybe B6 is better.
Hang on. Let me see. B6. B6. Oh, nah. It is just a one stack. It's
just a one stack, but it is a threat.
It is also a threat. Yeah, I can't really decide, but I also.
And why is it good? No, not oh, come on.
No, this isn't bad. This isn't bad.
No, because now Gamein just plays G6 and that opportunity closes. No. I'm so sad.
But did he just play G6 really? Or he's still thinking?
Not yet, but he will play. There is like so many 3 stacks on 6th line for red.
Yeah, but who knows?
That was like a unique window of opportunity.
Maybe he won't play it. I mean, he might not play it. Are they completely tied right now? Were we just like totally off in our evaluation the whole time?
No, we were not off because it was a matter of control cells and not own cells, and this is really confusing because by capturing one important stack, you gain so much controlled cells, so the total grows a lot. So the most important thing, the most informative thing is own cells. But essentially, you do need to control the territory, that's right. But controlled cells change in a much bigger ratio.
Okay, I have an idea. So what is happening here is that we have white groups on both the left and the right, and we have a strong red foundation on the bottom, but we have a kind of disperse and skinny red network stretching up to the top of the board. And if white can somehow attack red anywhere along this like most vulnerable points, I mean, there's a lot of 3 stacks though, and it's pretty thick, so I don't know if it's possible, but I have this idea that squeezing the group, that like surrounding it and not allowing it to expand, then they can basically shrink it back to a minimal state.
Do you think D3 is a good option? Just a 1 stack attack.
D3, hang on. Oh, for white, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say d3 fails to c3, right?
Okay.
That was we already looked at
Yes,
that.
you're right.
But
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, exactly. We already discussed it. Sorry.
but no, but like, what about, is there a different way to do that? Even b2 also kind of fails in the same way.
D2.
d2. d2. d2 is a nice way to attack. I mean, it has a defense, but the defense must be a one stack, and that one stack will not be an attack on its own. Maybe. Oh, b4. b4 makes a threat on f8. After d2. So maybe that's not.
Yes.
Let's see what red's gonna do. I mean, red can really do anything right now. If red just plays d3 right now, then this whole theory about squeezing, I mean, maybe it's already too thick to be kind of effectively attacked, but if I were Joe, I would probably look at the board and say that my bottom side is fine. It's not really under great danger. I mean, okay, O of 12 is not super safe. It can be actually captured by white, but other than that, like, I'll be able to like play on O14 and have a strong base on O14 all the way up. But my upper side is basically kind of more vulnerable. Yes, I have 3 stacks, but if d4 gets captured and d8 gets captured, then d5 is on a sharp corner, and it's only a 3 stack, like a sharp angle. So then it would not be alive if those 2 stacks die. So that means that this top part needs more attention to create a more stable shape.
Yes. So what he can do, he can just place E. Am I again wrong? Yeah, I'm again wrong. Sorry. I was thinking that maybe he can be so nasty that he can attack E5, E4, and block the line number 6. But that's a suicide move. Yeah.
But this looks like, I was just thinking this move. This is also pretty nasty. But yeah, it's overall pretty nasty. So what do you want to do as white? Can we do we do anything squeezing the last potential out of E4? We could play E6, but I think E6 was going to die if we play it. We can play E3, forcing the capture of E4, then play D2, forcing, C2, something like this, and then play A3, threatening to capture, and then, wow, that looks not bad. Then we have 77 to 74, 3 points behind. This one stack comes with a, I don't know, probably not good. Say to just block, and then this one will eventually die. Okay. What do you think, Polina?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel it's a bit. I'm really afraid that it's a bit too late for white to invade strongly on top.
What about A2? What about B2? What about C2? and then what? And then red captures.
Remember when C2 was a 2 stack? That's when it should have been played.
I know.
Yeah, but he was doing something more important. This is not like, I don't really like that we are saying, oh, this should have been played way before. I don't think that Miho has actually made any like unnecessary moves.
No, for sure.
Like
Yeah. Miha's
like
like
maybe
been
the capture from Job was not so necessary in the 4 stack,
right,
right?
right.
That maybe he lost some tempo. But Miho was doing very urgent things always. So it's not that he had an opportunity to place it before. There were some more urgent
This
things.
is just what we wish. We just wish in a perfect world where Miha can play
Mhm.
multiple moves in a row that he would play this in the past.
But maybe C2 will be 1 stack that is very easily blocked by C3, and then it doesn't really save E4, right? Or does it?
Nothing saves e4, but we can force red to capture e4 while playing beneficial moves elsewhere. That like basically
No, okay. Let's imagine C2 is 1 stack, and
capture. Then
then
red captures
Gamein has
e4.
a choice.
Let's just say he has to capture e4.
Zapawa leaves the game.
Nah, come on,
Come back.
Miha.
If 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 Gamein doesn't block on C3, then the power can play C6, which will be a 3 stack, and that will be strong. Maybe C2 is still a good option.
Wait, what?
C2 is 1 stack, forcing capturing E4,
Yeah.
but then the power plays C6.
Yes.
A pretty strong 3 stack.
Yeah. And let's say he plays c3, like you said.
If Gamein plays C3, then D3 can be captured by white.
No.
No, why?
If
We have C2, and then Gamein plays C3 because he doesn't want any invasion in the right. But then the power gets D3, and then E4 leaves. And the power also strengthens the territory on the top.
you're misreading because if white plays c2, then red just captures e4 immediately.
But this releases the move for Miho, right? Why am
Yeah.
I misreading it?
Yeah. White captures. Or red captures. If red does not capture, no, red must capture e3 or e4. Now, what does Miha do?
C6.
c6. Okay. Then what? Then c3, right?
Then C3.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe.
Yeah, killing off c2. So, and this is a scenario where red has already captured e4. So, d3 cannot be captured in this scenario. I just didn't understand. I didn't
I
understand
see.
because you had this idea that after c3, then d3 would die, but I don't see it.
Yeah, okay. Because you always assume that immediately Gaiman would do e4, like would capture e4, and I was thinking that he would not capture e4.
Oh, but he has to.
But why?
What else is he gonna do? So say he does not, but then immediately white will capture d3. So say like he says does c3 immediately instead of capturing, then immediately white will capture d3. Uh, Zapawa.
Come back.
I have a feeling that I hope his internet connection is okay because sometimes he goes to the farm and then has poor internet.
Right, but he has 1 hour to come back.
That's true. We can be talking about this position all night. Maybe this is
Amazing.
Maybe this is a good time to take a look. So, is there anything going on in the chat, Polina?
No.
Do we have enough viewers that it makes sense to go over the tournament, announce the tournament again?
I think we have like 5 viewers.
I feel like everybody who's watching then knows the tournament. We have you.
Yeah, I don't know about House 3 Chops. If this person is still with us, and if he she knows about the tournament.
Yeah. I wonder. I wonder if my off the cuff explanation of how Tumbleweed worked made any sense. I was just trying to remember how I explain it because every time it's a little bit different, and it's not. It can be explained in a very simple and clear way, but if I just think of the words like without planning it out, then it can be really confusing, I think.
I think it made sense.
Awesome. Niha. There's also A3, and then captures, let's just assume captures E4. And then A6 is, I don't know if A6 makes any sense. Undo A2. I mean, white and red are basically equal in terms of, I mean, almost equal in terms of influence.
Yeah, I still feel that red has a lot more influence.
Red has a lot
overall.
of ways. Yeah. Yeah, this monster in the middle.
Right, it can extend its tentacles everywhere.
I feel like
Not on the right side maybe, but even on the right side a bit. You still can do 08.
yeah, 08, a 2-stack on 08,
Exactly.
which can be.
But then maybe if he can then reuse a little bit of J4, but I guess that will die anyway.
Yeah,
But so maybe then. Sorry for disappearing. Thanks God you're back.
Yeah, I figured it was a troubled connection. If we do a streaming of size 6, then we can also compare the players' moves with AI.
Wait, say it again.
If we do streaming of human players on size 6 on the small board, then we can compare the human with the computer moves because we have a strong AI now.
I see.
All right, D2. So I predict that that we'll have a capture coming on E4. I mean, it's just the thing that makes sense. Otherwise, D3 will fall.
Right. But E3 is good.
Yeah, E3 looks good because this.
But now just C3. C3 from red.
C3 or B1.
Yeah,
Or
B1. Yeah.
I think B1.
B1 is nice. B1 is much nicer. B1 allows F1.
Right. And then also B1 will not die unless white invades because it's on this like obtuse angle with the edge.
Yeah, but come on, white needs to still try to invade. White has many invasion points. Please invade.
Yeah, white needs to play A2 if B1 because then A2 can be used to make a 2-stack. If white gets a 2-stack on A3, then white can like try to claim some territory on this, make a triangle. Oh, okay.
All right.
This probably is actually smarter than my option of B1.
It is a very smart move, but can it be? Yeah, it is. It is an attack.
Yeah, it's an attack. It's an attack, and I mean, the thing is that there's no shield possible.
There is no shield possible.
And reinforcement is also not possible, so it is a definite. It's an inevitable killing.
Wow. So Miho can minimize the damage by placing J9.
J9. J9? What?
G9.
Oh, G9. Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, G9.
So that means that Gamein just gets one stack.
I actually don't see how I don't see that G9 will really help because eventually G9 will get killed too, I think.
But it is because it's gonna be on a sharp edge.
Yeah, it's gonna be on the sharp edge.
Oh my god, this looks so sad. No. Oh wow, this just a wall of red in the middle of the board.
This is a thick wall of red, and the opportunities for white to counter strike are decreasing. I do think that we need to pay attention. Also, there's a attack on G or F10. Right, but actually, I was thinking Miha should do this attack, and I really like it. But Joe will probably ignore the fact that his 1-stack is in danger and just play C3. Maybe, actually, I don't know.
F10, maybe F10. F10 from white.
F10? Oh, yeah. But
this is a huge reduction of white's territory.
But also, white's if F10 dies, then also white can eat away red's. Actually, if red focuses on killing white stones on the bottom, and if red focuses on killing off white stones on the bottom, and white focuses on killing red stones off on the top, this is good for white because the most unclear, contested, and big area, I think, is the top. Because if white gets to kill off, because red has a bunch of one stacks, which might die, and then theoretically could still get this kind of worm-like territory around the top, because safety of groups is so unstable. If red can be shrunk down, so just yeah.
So I think I don't know. To be honest, if D3 is captured, then it's very easy to shield the E4. E4 will not be captured. E4 will leave.
Yeah.
But so many of white stacks can be in danger.
Really?
Yes, like after F10, the whole white group can actually be really put down. Because let's say F10 capture,
Okay. Then what?
maybe not.
And then we capture D3.
And then red goes a B7.
B7. B7, right? Or D7.
B7.
D as in darling.
No, B is beer.
Beer. Okay. Yes. Beer 7. Yeah, that looks pretty nasty. So then white is forced to shield. But
No, white will stay. White will stay, but it will be reduced.
no, because then E10 is in danger. Oh, because actually white doesn't care, because if white captures, then that one still dies anyway. So that's a futile capture. B7 threatens the 2 stack, which actually can be ignored. So red reinforces. Probably smart, honestly, in this. Oops. So instead of capturing, red reinforces. But this does now allow white one extra move on the bottom. Right now, we just wish, as white, that we can have 2 lines of sight against A3. We need to kill A3. But we don't have any lines of sight on A3. Any of these invasions working? Okay.
Now we got one.
Now we got one. And you know what? It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look that bad. Let's just say, for instance, that red decides to capture on F10. And then the thing is, all of the lines of sight towards A3, or at least 3 out of the 4, are controlled fully by red. It means that white needs more than one move to attack A3. It needs one move to make a contested spot, or like make a controlled spot into a contested spot, and then play there and hope that red doesn't block it. Probably A4.
But why do you think keeping that one A3 is so important?
It's not necessarily so important. Like, look, if white plays A4, the score is almost equal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't think that it is so necessary to kill the one. You can just place your border right next to it and try to hold it as much as possible.
Oh, what happens when white plays? Oh, because B7 doesn't do much anyway. But B7's still awesome. Actually, capturing on G10 is Sente, because white really needs a 3 stack on E8.
Mm.
Also, is there any weak spots to? I mean, red's wall is becoming increasingly strong.
Yeah, I don't really see a very good attacks on red pieces.
If I was white at this moment, probably would just give up um, this one stack and play c1 because red will capture, and then now there's not really a good way to apple pick, and then white's territory is not totally solidified, but at least the wall looks somewhat
But I,
stable.
I still think that maybe there is a slight chance, super difficult. Maybe still L15 can result in slight reduction of red territory, no? Under in the bottom.
Yeah.
I know I was saying that it's it's very difficult. But now I feel like almost desperate for white.
So, we really lost the chance for. Okay, this is actually, I think this is fine. Yeah, we didn't lose any chance because red also cannot apple pick in this situation. So it means that white got a4 in, which was a really important move, and white solidified the top. But now red will do everything to be annoying with this final dead stack here. Is this J3 is Sente? I mean, it's attacking
It's
E3.
crazy. Oh, I hate it. Really? Because now or 8 is a 3 stack. Crazy.
Really? Oh.
Look at it. Exactly. So that's what happens if you really delay the capture.
Yeah, but also
they can strike back.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what's now is bad? That J8 is a 3 stack, and it was not a 3 stack before.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think, Miho got to choose whether to not allow a 3 stack on K4 or J8. Oh, I don't know. I think J8 is much bigger.
I would play maybe J8 then. But
yeah, I would actually play like M. Wait, yes, J8. I would play M8. I would play M8 to not allow J8 and create like additional line of sight over like
my first
F1.
instinct was to play like 009.
Because this is now a double attack even. This is so bad. Come on.
Alright.
I think I felt the same. Like when I was playing Gamein the first time, I had like very similar situation when all of a sudden there was like a stack in the middle of my territory and it was a double attack and was killing.
I have a question.
Super strong game.
Do you think it's like easier to make a territory from one group or two groups? I feel like it should be easier to make a territory from one group, but if it's in the middle like this, like red's stripe down the center just confuses me. Like, in theory, white needs to make like 2 walls, but each wall is up against the edge of the board on the other side, so then it should be able to be more efficient in enclosing space, whereas red would need to kind of like block off both sides. So it needs almost to have 2 walls on this stripe, and they're both long. But what Gamein is doing has made these like, I don't even know how to describe it, some kind of clump that serves as a wall for both sides.
Yeah. I think this J3 is super smart move. It created a lot of reduction to the white.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know. I think you need to be like very observant of the current situation, current position, to understand what's better. Is it actually better to expand from center, from one group, or is it better to have this pressure from the edges? you have two groups.
To attack
It,
the
it,
center.
it really depends, because I saw many different games when the centered group was so big, so the opponent was just like really pushed away to the edges and resulted in a very little territory. Red doesn't even bother capturing.
What was red gonna capture?
Red can capture on K9 and on E3.
But instead of capturing, red defended, because white could also have captured O12, which also looks not good for red. So I support it. But now white protects. Wow.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, I just missed O9. Yes, then it makes sense.
But red still has a nasty capture. I mean, I would just capture K9.
Right.
Or, I hate to say this, but also N8 looks really nice. Or maybe
It
N8.
does.
Maybe N8's not nice, but maybe like I don't know. I'm just trying to think of okay, N8 and then O10 and then N7, but then white can just like capture N8 later, so never mind.
But do you think in Tumbleweed it is possible to it's not really possible, right? To be like, okay, I got enough territory. I will just play safely. I will just close the opportunities,
Yeah,
and
of course.
just to have enough.
Of
No, you
course.
really need to be like super um, provoking all the time.
No, you don't need to be provoking all the time. I mean, I think it's totally possible if you're ahead by a lot, you can just close up shop. Just like in
But
Go, if you're super
it is not
ahead.
like that for red still, right?
Red. The thing with red is that like red's in a position where playing it safe and reducing white are kind of the same thing. Red has all these
Hmm.
obvious looking moves to make.
Red still can play B7. That's crazy.
D7.
B7.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Whites wants to get an extra. If red doesn't respond to this, then C1, but or something like I don't know because everything inside of so say red passed and then white plays like here all anything inside this line on the B line. Okay, maybe B6. I was trying to find where does it affect, but red's not gonna pass.
B6 gives an opportunity for so many three stacks, but to play B6 you don't need B1.
Hmm.
B6 would be, or even like A6 would do the same job.
Hmm. Yeah, B6 looks good just even without B1. So maybe this idea about C1. But of course, Gamein will respond like that. He's not going to pass.
Scary. Or maybe not.
This doesn't attack anything. Oh wow.
Exactly.
Ooh. White. Ooh. So C6?
But what is this follow-up after C7? What is red's follow-up?
Maybe to play C6? No, no, not
It's a
possible.
suicide now.
To play a 3-stack on... Well, he didn't get to do it anyway. But, oh, this is
It is an
fine.
attack on E8.
Yeah, that's fine. So, will the...
Why is it fine? How is it fine?
Because he's not... It's just a... It's not that big.
Like we were talking about this. No, Gamein captured a lot of white pieces. They are maybe not so big just by themselves, but when you sum them all up, that's a lot.
I think C7 is dead.
Yeah, I think C7 was strange.
But it looked like it could have been cool. And also, what if red plays like, you know, D6? All of a sudden, now C6 is possible for red and not even possible for white. So maybe that's the point. Oh
Maybe it
shit.
is.
Yeah. Like D.
Maybe it is. That's why I think now, more than ever, B6 is important for white.
No, if red, no, it's red to move. If red plays
I
D6, then
know.
B6 is not even an option for white.
But red didn't do it. But red did something more important.
Maybe red also thinks that C7 is dead.
This is now, I think, more important because this is something inside white, very seeming something that seems to be solid, and now looks not solid at all. Because it's
No.
like F2, F1 is now an option.
I mean, yeah.
And this blocking by white is not really, it's not even an attack.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm not playing perfectly here, but
F2.
this is all fun. I think this is fun.
F2. Now we should play F1. Now we should play F2. Then there should not be really serious follow-up.
We should play F4. F4. Okay, we didn't play F4. I think we needed to play F4.
Didn't want it to be H1, but H1 would not be such a big deal.
Yeah, exactly. H1 would still die, I think. But the thing is, if red gets F4, now the wall is dead. So this is the reason why white needed to play F4. White was like back here. This is a contested spot. Both F4, both players can have a 3-stack here.
Yeah, but I mean F2 would also do the job. F2 would prevent F4.
F2 is fine. Yeah. Yeah, F2 would also work. I prefer. I don't know why I like F4, but maybe that's because I'm looking at the editor and it just shows like this. But you're right. Like F2 would also F3.
Yeah, I mean I would also resign.
The walls. Yeah. Well, after this, it's hard to defend. Super attacking game.
Okay, I've seen enough, I think. Zapawa says. Oh my god.
These walls are gonna fall.
Oh,
Well played.
it's a
Yes, I
monster.
agree. Well played from
It's
both.
a monster.
Oh, he left before I can say good game. So, what do we think?
Invade in a good time. And capture in a good time.
All right, we had a situation where we saw this, both players making different shaped triangles at the beginning, and red had a plan to kind of cut white. Let's see what Gamein. Okay.
But also, I think Gamein teaches us a very cool lesson.
Which is
Like, not give up on that stacks. Like, if you're seeing that 2 stack on J4, or whatever it was, J4, isn't it?
yeah.
It was that, like, from the middle game. But he still used it to create one line of sight, one stack, very weak stack that will die stack. But the stack that created so many.
Right.
It was great. It was great. You need to see those places when even playing one stack that is vulnerable, but it creates so many more opportunities.
Exactly.
Then maybe go for it, especially in the end game when all other opportunities are exhausted.
That's why invasions, getting pieces all on all parts of the board, is important, just so that you have opportunity to place. Because losing the opportunity to play somewhere is, I think, not
the worst.
Yeah, it's one of the worst things. If you can't even play there, then like okay, it's the worst. If neither of you can play there, then it's okay, I guess. If you could play there, but it'd be a suicide move. This is bad, but you have a chance to reverse things by giving more lines of sight. But if you
You mean not suicide, but like nearly suicide?
No, actually suicide move. It's
actually suicide.
Yeah, it's still bad, but it's not so bad because at least you can play there, and you could maybe add another line of sight later.
But like hoping that your opponent would not.
No. If you add another line of sight from a different move later, then you get the opportunity to play that move as a not suicide move. You see?
Oh, okay, I see.
But if you actually just have a piece there already, and then you can just play wherever you want. You can play non-suicidal moves inside the opponent territory. And then some of those are going to be sente because people are building walls. Not every piece is safe. Especially 2 stacks.
True. Especially 2 stacks.
And then
2 stacks are something to look for if you can build an attack on in the wall.
You get 1 move against a 2 stack. Now, you have 2 pieces inside enemy territory. They still need to defend. Now you can place another piece, and you have 3 moves. This is an invasion. It was a great invasion by Gamein.
It is then an invasion. It's a great invasion plan.
Yeah. And of course, we saw this exactly what happened. I mean, he said, you know what? Like, J4 doesn't have good lines of sight, but J3 does. So we'll use that. It's a double attack. It threatens O8 and E3. So it forces white to defend E3. Then we take the other opportunity, play O8. Now it's like I think that it's tempting to capture J4 at this time, but probably more valuable to block like on M8 or something.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
And then we had this, because once you get in the wall, but Gamein or Zapawa was able to get back a little bit of control of the wall, but then
I think he maybe overlooked that 3 stack
yeah,
after F2, F1.
right. Both players were playing some kind of end game moves on the left and then returning to the right. Right. So because this 08 existed, now turned M8 into a contested one.
Mm-hmm.
Even this alone will still die, but it's just adding another stack into the enemy. And then, like, of course, you can keep playing dead stacks in your enemy zone, but if even one of them lives, then the invasion kind of worked. Or if you get enough overwhelming power, like so like of course white plays a move to kill off the stone, but he has to spend one more move to actually kill it. So that gives now another F1. And it's like, okay, now if white blocks on F4 or F2 or something, now he can take these extra moves. It's like for every one stack that red plays inside the territory, white has to spend like 1, 2, or 3 moves to kill it. I think in this case, even though it's scary to let red into the corner, like with H1, still better to defend the wall, let red have H1, and then come back and kill. Because these will
Yeah,
actually
I
probably
think
still die.
H1 would not live long enough.
I don't think
Would
it would
not
live.
make it till the end of the game.
No, because you need a 3 stack somewhere.
Yes, exactly. And it's only 2 stacks, and it's gonna be. I mean, he would not be able to connect the whole
Side.
right, the whole line. No, of course not. So then Zapawa will just eat from the H.
Exactly.
And it's fine.
Right. So what we're saying is, for instance, if we go this and then go to this, and then white, let's say white even just spends a move to kill this one, and then what kills here, and then do this. Now white does this, and maybe red's kind of not going to survive. Okay, I mean I wasn't playing perfectly for both sides, but instead of eating, white does this, but this will still die. Too much power from white. White has an additional wall.
Yep.
Yep. All right.
I think it was a good game. We saw some really cool moves and really cool ways to act on the board.
Yes. I think that
Even starting from the very surprising capture of neutral.
right. That was a very revolutionary tactic. I mean, revolutionary in the sense that like it just it it just it was awesome, I guess. So
Right.
we have this move here um, where red's forcing white to make a choice. You can either reinforce or you can, I guess, give up this stack. So he plays
Wait, what position? What position we are talking about
20,
now?
25, 26.
Mm.
He's saying, white's saying, look, you need to you need to capture because otherwise I'll capture you right away. So he gets this kind of, it's like a consolation prize. It's squeezing the, it's kind of a bit squeezing this two stack for all it's worth. Except that like really, if he would have reinforced here, then later he could come and capture this one, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I would probably have reinforced, even though it's super painful to reinforce. I'll probably reinforce.
No, I think he didn't want to reinforce because even after the capture, he can create a third line on f12.
Yeah, it's a trade. You're right. It's a trade that he trades this two stack on g12 for the two stack on f12. Because even if, no matter what. But the thing is, but the problem is f12 has such small, like, lines of sight. And g12 sees a lot, I think. This is the...
Yeah, I really don't. I'm really not enjoying when in the beginning of the game you start playing, like decide some really local conflict that does not affect majority of the board.
Right.
But yeah, when those conflicts are resolved, then you can do other things. But usually, save that result is rather stable, so it does not really have a general influence over other parts of the board.
But it does have an influence to create a stable group. A living group on the board has massive influence. It sees the whole board. So we can say
here they are sort of like sharing the influence. It doesn't see the whole board.
Look,
It's like
okay,
a tiny group of pieces that border each other.
Okay, look, move 20. We have move 20. We have two red stacks and two white stacks, and the influence is just not determined at all. I mean, it's they both kind of see both. They're basically contested influence. Then they start to make these moves, and by move 30, now red's group sees the lower side and the right side, and white's group sees like the left side and the upper side. Actually, white's group sees a lot more. White's also connected to the white group on the right. So, to me, this is like this is deciding who has which influence over which part of the board, and if either of them just kind of give up on the fight and decide and play moves elsewhere, then the other one can just kill off that area, and they get to see all, like, much more on that side.
Yeah, I see.
It's like they've invested a little bit, so then they feel that they need to continue to support what they've built.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Well, it's very hard to give up pieces when you already invested in that if you didn't plan them to be eventually killed off to start with.
And it's not about the pieces; it's about the area that you get. So, like,
yeah.
White, I feel like I think white looks really nice on the left with this group, and I just think that it would have been nice to, for instance, okay, I don't know because everything white did here is reasonable, but being able to capture the then neutral at move 31, it's like, boom, all of a sudden, h7, l12, they're both under attack, and it's like this is why the neutral is so crazy in this game. It takes a position that where like nobody is seeing anybody, and then whoever captures it all of a sudden sees everything with a 3 stack.
Yeah, I think that was really at that point it was already sort of determined that the red has a lot more influence and white has to act really fast. I think that Miho was really doing it. That's why f5 happened.
Except that that at this point in the game, once red captures the neutral, red's still behind. But the captures will happen, so.
Right.
Miha's super ahead. for a while, but then we get these captures, and then everything switches pretty fast. I mean, I don't want to. I don't want to like use the score indicator too much as like a indicator of what's going on, but if you see more, then you have more options to play too.
You mean the controlled cells?
Yeah, like the total.
Yeah. No, for sure, for sure. It is just that if you look at the total and you don't take into account what it's composed of, just like pure total, then it can change very fast just by one capture. One capture of a key stack that sees a lot of cells will change a lot the total score, even though it is just one.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, yeah, I don't really know what is the better way of estimating towards the end game, like who is going to win and what are the key things to like protect, capture if possible.
I think we need to.
Because if I see the difference and I'm like, okay, I am like 10 points ahead, and then I can definitely lose by another 10 points because it is composed of owned and control cells. And if you don't compare the owned cells, then essentially, like, chances high that you get screwed just because you underestimate how many cells are really in
No,
your possession.
of course, I understand. But what I'm saying is that like to the answer is to count territory, not to count owned plus controlled or use the score, but actually look at the board and decide for yourself, like what is controlled by what, like what is really going to be, what it's really going to be like in the end. Like this is how they do it in Go. They look at even a position where it's like not clear, then they'll say, okay, well, white will get maybe 10 points there, black will get 20 points there, and then they just kind of makes these like rough estimates all around the board. What is, because there's some territories that are stable, some that are disputed, and then they do it this way.
Yeah.
We can do that here. We just have this additional metric of the score indicator, which is, yeah, as you say, very misleading and doesn't give the true representation of what's going on all the time. But still, it's nice.
Gives you some hint like what's going on.
Yeah, yeah.
In numbers. No, it is hard to estimate. Like if you are on the edge or if you're in the center, how many points it really gives you in the end, in
Yeah.
the solid territory points.
So, guys, 18 people signed up for the tournament. That's crazy.
I'm really looking forward.
Me too. I really I have so much fun like making the pairings and like I mean, even though it's for me, it's just going to be based on a formula of just like making sure that people with the same number of points play each other, and making sure that the people who, you know, that nobody like is always forced to play the guest or always forced to play the host, and yeah.
Yeah. No, but it's cool because I know that there will be unexpected wins and unexpected losses.
Oh yes, yes. I mean, like Simon, for instance, has played on Mind Sports,
Mm-hmm.
and I have no idea what his playing style is like.
Right. Mm-hmm. And
Johan,
it does influence a lot because Gamein definitely has a distinct style, and we can say that he likes this sneaky moves, really long range attacks. Uh, and like if you know this, it may be like you can be prepared for this, but if you don't know this, then
I don't. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what Gamein's style is like. I think Gamein plays attacking. He plays attacking style. I think that um, the long range attacks, it's more of a perception bias because you
Mm.
you felt that again in your own game against him.
But it also happened here.
That's true. But I think that like these attacks were not so sneaky. They were just double attacks, and players can look out for them.
True.
I hope that I correctly assumed that the guy who emailed me was Jiren, because he never gave me his actual
Yeah.
handle, but
Maybe better to ask.
I did ask. He didn't respond.
Alright.
But yeah. All right. I think we're done, right?
I think we are good for this stream. We
Yeah.
really discussed it and analyzed it a lot.
Yeah, and I think we've talked about topics that we didn't talk about in previous streams.
Yeah, I also feel this way.
Cool. All right, I'm going to end it.